This is the sad story of Mr. Bump. The trouble was that Mr. Bump just could not help having little accidents. For instance, if you were to see Mr. Bump walking down the street in your town, then you know what would happen, don't you? Bump! Mr. Bump was just the same at home. He lived in an extremely nice home. But even there, he couldn't help having those little accidents. For instance, one morning when Mr. Bump went outside his house, he noticed that the chimney pot had come loose in a storm the night before. I must fix that before it falls off, thought Mr. Bump to himself. And he hurried off to his garden shed. So you can see how Mr. Bump had his little accidents. Mr. Bump had had many jobs, but somehow they never seemed to last very long. As soon as anything got broken, chipped, or snapped, or torn, or burst, or slit, guess who got the blame? For instance, when Mr. Bump worked on a farm. He'd spilt the milk, and the farm cat lapped it up. For instance, when Mr. Bump was a postman, he got his stuck in the pillar box. For instance, when Mr. Bump was a carpenter, he found that when he was hammering nails, he hammered his most of the time, and the nail hardly at all. So, you see, the story of Mr. Bump isn't such a sad story after all, is it?